on Facebook as well. So yay. Welcome
Hello,
everyone.
everybody.
Yes, yes. Happy New Year and welcome to our Healers Talk Mondays 2021. I still can't believe it.
I know.
Oh, it's amazing. The 2020 went by just felt like so long, yet so fast for me. I don't know. I don't know. At least that was my experience of it. And I don't know about your experience, but this day on the new year, we'd like to actually share and talk about setting intentions for the new year energetically. My name is Anuschka Alborzian. I'm an empowerment health coach and energy healer.
Hello, I'm Jacob Moya, and I am also all about energy. I am a healer, a researcher of all things energy, and I try to help people to bring them back to balance, energetically wise.
You do. You definitely do. Not try, but
Thank
that's
you.
me with the words.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, you're amazing with that.
It's we talk a lot about this, and especially in our meditations. For the people that join us in our meditations, there's a constant talk about this, about the importance of your intentions, right? And how, because we're in a physical body, and although we have a spiritual, our spiritual energetic body and emotional body, the one that takes precedent, the ones that need to give you permission for everything to heal and to suffer, is your physical rational brain, right?
Right.
And an intention is part of your rationality, part of your physical self. And because without the intention, it's like if you are not given permission of something, if you don't have permission to yourself or to others to connect with you, nothing is going to happen, right? Most of the time you hear, especially in these spiritual groups and so on and so forth, they talk about block yourself and don't allow and push energies out. Well, that is using your intention, right? Your intention to help you to disconnect from other people, to help you to be in a different realm, energetically wise, from other people, so they don't affect you.
Right.
But that is just a sample of what the intention is, and you can see that many people that are sick, that they cannot find a name diagnosis, they are in search, always trying to find what's wrong with me, what is the title, because they think or they believe that they don't have a title attached to the sickness or a reason for the problem that they're carrying. They don't have permission to heal. They don't give themselves permission to heal, when in reality a title is something that someone come up with when they see a series of symptoms and put it together and say, well, you know what, this is how we're going to call it, right?
Well, and I think that whole thing with labeling, right? Titling, labeling, all of that, it brings a sense of comfort for a lot of people. And it's like, oh, well, that's what's wrong with me, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like, well, when you label something, then you're actually setting the intention of being exactly that, right?
Or existing.
Yeah, or making it in existence. Exactly. And
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
and that's the power of the physical brain, like you said, right?
Right. And not just the physical brain, but the intention, because our talk today is all about intentions. We're at
Yes.
the beginning of the new year. And this is why it's very important to have a set of intentions. We call it goals, we call them desires, we call them
Targets.
mission boards. It's like the things that you want to achieve in your life, the things that you want to experience in your life. But like everything else, remember always that everything that is energetically alive is connected in one way or another. Why I have this type of friends, this type of relationship, this type of mother, this type of father, this type of brothers, this type of environment, it's because you are all connected, right? Because my environment is different to your environment, and I'm not saying that it's better or it's worse. It's just different, and my environment, it's surrounded by my daughter, my friends, my relatives, mother, my sisters, for all the stuff what I do for work, the co-workers, the place that I live, what I eat, so on and so forth. So the thing here is that intention allows you to maybe venture yourself, like to give yourself permission to start experimenting something different that you haven't been able to enjoy or experience while you are in the environment that you are.
Mhm.
And the importance of today talk is not because intentions per se they're gonna bring you something different, but remember, this is Anuschka talks a lot of time about this. It's not only the intention, it's the action that follows through, right? And then if you are going outside of your environment because this environment do not support you for having that desire, goal, wish, uh, uh, as part of your reality, it's gonna be threatening, and it's gonna be challenging. It's gonna be different because your physical, rational brain grew up since it was a little cell to the day that you're living currently,
Mhm.
surrounded by all these messages and all these rules and regulations that this group of people that your environment created, and what is real and what is not real for you. So uh, intention, it's like I said, it's just the opportunity for you to experience something that you are not experiencing yet, right? But then we have to make sure that if you're gonna jump out of the environment, that you start creating another environment that supports the thing that you want to experience,
Awesome.
without cutting completely off. Because many times that's what I hear, and many modalities, healing modalities talk about that. It's not your friends; they're bringing you down, and so on and so forth. And you have to cut with them, and you have to create new friends, and so on and so forth. Energetically wise, makes no sense. Why? Because if you grew up in this old environment, there's a reason, and there's a reason why you were surrounded by all these people. And if you just create a new environment for yourself, but you forget completely about this other environment, a piece of you is going to be missing. And eventually, something is going to make you come back to the same thing, either in your own life or in your descendants. It can be your children, and your children are going to screw up, and we see it all the time. The people that create this amazing business and there is massive wealth, and they create a new different reality. And when they die, their children just clean all the money in a matter of years, and they go back to where the environment where they were coming from, because that's what is natural for them. So instead of that, I suggest people to have your intention, have your action, create your new environment, but don't forget the environment that you're coming from. And when I'm telling you not forgetting about the environment that you're coming from, I'm not telling you that you have to drag them with you or you have to support them all the time, but it's to have an emotional connection with you at the same time that you are healing yourself out of that environment, because in our meditations, many times we have this information coming while we are at the higher vibrational levels of higher, beta, theta levels, and it's that we don't have the right to change anybody else. We only have the right to change ourselves. And by living a different experience, you are bringing a seed of possibilities into that old environment, and you're gonna be able to make time for both environments, the new environment and the old environment, but not with the vision of criticizing it, of destroying it. It's just as a part of your healing, as a part of noticing if you really are in a better place, and if it's in your means to help, then why not, right? Sometimes I remember reading the biography of Andrew Carnegie, and how this created this massive wealth, and he was helping everybody else. But when I read about his employees and how far he fought to make them work 10 hours a day, to have two shifts instead of three shifts, right? And he was spending all this money in libraries and helping communities and hospitals and creating these amazing gifts. But the people that was helping him to create that wealth was never taken care of. He didn't spend a big chunk of his wealth into that, and that's something that in this new era makes it really makes no sense. You take care first of the people that help you, and in this particular case that we're talking about, that's your relatives, that are your friends, and then you can give money away into charity and all that other stuff, but because that is part of the healing. This new era, it's about all of us. It's not about one person, you're going to notice it more and more that it's going to be less and less people trying to become uh, other than if you are living in the Bay Area, because if you're living in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, everybody's trying to come up with a new disruption business that is gonna put out of business I don't know how many other businesses, and it's gonna make you wealthy and popular, because that's that environment, right? But if you are outside there, you're gonna see less and less that. It's more about cooperation. It's about helping each other. What I'm doing with Anuschka each week here is just cooperating with each other. She
Wow.
understands technology way better than I do. She is more disciplined when it comes to sending emails and notifications and creating the group and making sure that everybody's there, and pointing the things that I'm missing, because I just going to in automatic when I start doing my sessions, and she fixing correct things, but it's cooperation, you know. I'm helping her, she's helping me, and together we are helping a lot of other people, that we couldn't help if we wouldn't be together. When I was handling my meditation group on my own, I have a lot of members, like 300 some members, and some come and then don't come again, and I always forget to send the emails, and it was like, we're going into meditation in 10 minutes, in 15 minutes, it was too late, right? So it was more difficult for me to do, right? Because I don't have to do everything, I need to surrender myself with the people that are gonna help me to do things, to make things happen, before we have this live, we went into live, Anushka and I were talking about that the center, the holistic center I usually work at, is still under construction. They're making some changes there, and they're still working on it. And so this week we're gonna be out, right? And the thing is, I don't need to know what's gonna happen, and I don't know what, because there are people working on that particular place, doing the thing. And I never needed to ask for one office, so then they move to another, and then apparently they moving me to another. It's like someone else is taking care of all those decisions. I am contributing what I do, what I know, with their clients, and they are contributing what they are good at with the infrastructure of the place, in contacting the clients and so on and so forth. And we are all happy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and like what I hear with that too is like, they always say teamwork makes the dream work, and each person has
Yes,
a unique skill
love
set.
that
Each
phrase.
person has their talents, and when you have no attachment and you just surrender to the flow and not wanting to like control different situations, but yet bring your own talents and skills, and setting against the intentions, right? The intention behind is to have, like, for instance, with you, like have the center work as a whole. Well, in that case, it's like it allows you to just go with that flow, right?
Yeah,
Rather than just
yeah,
going upstream. Like they say, it's like it's tough to go upstream, right? If you just go
yeah,
down the
yeah,
river, you don't have to
yeah,
really have all these different like control and having to like really just being forced down a certain way. So that's just like what I'm hearing with a lot of that too, right? So it's like when you set an intention, like one of the things that we were talking about last week was manifestation, right? So when you set
Right.
the intention and you have this belief like around that intention, it's like an aim, right? You're like, this is what I'm aiming to do for this year. Well, when you set that intention, have the belief, have no doubt, and therefore you take the actions around it, you're creating this energetic space to manifest what it is that you're setting your intention behind. So that's
and
like,
and and and, 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 and heal whatever you find, because we all have blockages. We all, otherwise you will be experiencing already, right? You will be living it already. So it's we all gonna find something that is holding us, and if you don't know what it is, well, that is a great investment, to jump into someone that knows how to find it and help you find it and heal it,
awesome.
because that's what it's all about. Life is about moving forward. Actually, as a therapist, the future is always in front of you. The present is right here, and the past is on your back, and it's always been like that, because life is about moving forward. It's about stepping in front of you
Growing or
one.
dying is what I always say. I'm like, you're either going to be
Yeah.
growing and intentionally growing, or
Yes.
either way, like, you're getting one step, one moment closer to when it's your time to go, right? And I
Definitely.
want to say something else, because when you were sharing about our environment, right? So sometimes a lot of people get stuck. They get stuck in a certain environment, where, for instance, like my environment when I first moved to San Diego was very different than the environment I'm here today, right? I used to love
Right.
to go out, go clubbing, go dancing, drinking, all that stuff. That was my environment. The people I surrounded myself with, that was the environment. Not to say it was good or bad. I definitely have no regrets. I had a lot of fun. And as I started growing, I started noticing without doing anything, I still have great connections. I still have great relations with people that I did spend time within. But what I noticed is like that shifted. And then I started doing a lot of growth. And then that group of friends around me were all of that, right? Now I'm playing a lot more volleyball. So my environment is shifting yet again. And it's like I'm constantly allowing myself to just shift. Not to say that I'm not going to go back and be close with other people, but as our frequencies change, we're going to go in and out of different environments and relations.
Exactly.
And it's like
Exactly.
not having the attachment, especially, have you noticed like these days there's a lot of division, right? I watched this podcast. Actually, I shared it early on Facebook, and it was a very brilliant way of describing how just people are divided because of their beliefs and being so stuck on their beliefs. And he talked about it from you should definitely check it out, Jacob. It was actually really interesting because he's talking about it from like a moral perspective, and
Mhm.
how we can all learn to love one another, even with these different, whether it's political beliefs or whatever that may be, but really learning how to love one another, talk to one another, even though we have different beliefs. It's like, okay, like we all have different energies and intentions behind what we do. But if we're constantly like, this is how I need it to be, well, then people start to get divided, and then circle of friends are just starting to erupt rather than just being with like, okay, what is it that I want to create this year? Like, what kind of relationships do I want to create this year? And setting the intention behind that.
Yeah, when you were sharing all that, I mean, one of the important things is, don't forget about your friends, right? Don't forget where you're coming from. In one of the persons that is being with us in the group, in the meditation group, for a long time, experiencing transformations, is one of your childhood friends, right? So I'm assuming that is not, that is the importance of connecting, because out of all your childhood friends, one in particular resonated with you and is taking the trip with you. So
Yeah.
it gives you validation to what you're doing. It gives you a purpose, a reason, to continue moving on. And I mean, how the obvious question is, how can I start breaking from my current environment into a different? How can I have the either the guts or the desires to really go to that, and start getting into these other areas. And the only way that I know, the only way that I am aware of, is through the meditation. And why is that? Because with meditation, you start accessing your inner self, but it's not just your inner self. It's it's kind of like your wisdom. I always put it like that. It's like going inside of a library where you have and you find a lot of knowledge inside of you. And when you start, it's simultaneous. When you start getting that knowledge, you become less afraid of being yourself, because you start getting to know yourself better. And when you are less afraid of being yourself, you stop pretending, right? And when you stop pretending, you start becoming more authentic, So it's like a chain effect, it's like, because that creates relationships that are more closer to you. When you're authentic, people feel that they can be authentic with you, because it's an energetic thing. It's not something that you feel, or actually that you see. It's something that you feel.
It's like almost like, yeah, it's like when you're authentic, you pretty much open up the space to like a safe space for other people to share and be authentic as well. It's so interesting. People share the people I don't even know a lot of times will share things with me. Like I'll just meet someone and they share the most vulnerable things with me. And I used to wonder, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like now I get it, because I'm so authentically myself. I don't like, I get vulnerable myself. I just share myself openly. So it provides that space for other people to do the same. And that in itself is so healing, right? It's like super healing to be open like that and be authentic and not have to be fake, right? Like that is a great intention to me for this coming year. Is like, how can you be more authentically yourself and see what it creates for you in this future?
And the beautiful thing is that energetically wise, when you are authentic, when you are more open, your energy expands, your aura expands. You are more in an embracing mode, because there's no need for you to protect yourself. But when you are in the other side, when you are in the side of trying to make sure that you're not criticized, that you're not judged, and so on and so forth, your energy contracts because it's fear, and you need to protect yourself, and that creates a reaction. It's like if you have the doors open or the doors closed, and with the doors open, things are going to come to you. When the door closed, it's more difficult. I'm not saying that they're not going to come at all. It's just that it's going to be more different and more difficult, and so that's my suggestion, guys, is the intention.
And
but
real
then
quick
do
to add
something
to
about
that whole fear thing, like it's interesting because I've been talking about fear mode, right? And a lot of people with the pandemic and everything, there's a lot of people that are still in fear mode, which fear mode, as we know it, is for the purpose of, so it's like for our body to survive, right? It's like that fight or flight survival mode. So what happens when we're in fear mode is intuition is completely cut off, right? For the most part, like stress is like all over the place. So then also your logical mind and your all of it is just completely shuts down. So you all of a sudden have no logic behind things. So it's like setting an intention is really to like, how can you get into love mode rather than fear mode? Because that too is tracked, right?
And they're patterns. I mean, because we all go through patterns. I remember yesterday I was driving, and I was in my car, and then eventually I touched here back of my neck, and I felt a bump, like a big bump, like my nerve was like boom boom. No particular reason for it. I have no idea why I was stressed, because I don't have anything to be stressed of. But immediately I grabbed my magnets and boom, and I was driving like this, and it went down, and it definitely went down. And but that's the thing, it's like when you learn to understand yourself, when you learn how your body works, when you learn which brain are you using, and all those different things, you definitely can take shortcuts to be better, to communicate better, to instead of being reactive with everybody around me and telling them, you know what, I don't know, I'm too stressed, I have a headache, I gotta sleep, or don't bother me, I'm more important than anybody else right now, and so instead of that, it allowed me to continue go with the flow, right? Now, I understand that the body don't create a reaction out of the blue. There's a reason for it. I don't know what the reason is, but eventually it will show up, because this is my body letting me know about something. That's for sure, That's how it always is. So pay attention to all those things. And like I said, meditation, the best way for you guys to start breaking out of the environment that you're in, to allow you to get to your goals and manifest your goals faster and easier, because it will allow you to get to know yourself, your true self, and to heal the things that you need to heal in order for you to move forward, to go to the other place, So think about it, guys. It's really a very small investment of time that you have to do in order for you to go through the process, to learn to communicate with you. It's like exercising, it's like everything else physically. Even drinking, the people that drinks, the first time that you drink a beer, you feel tipsy, or hard alcohol, a cocktail or something. You probably don't even like the flavor. But the more that you do it, you start liking it more, and you need more alcohol to go reach to the same levels, right? So it's no different with meditation or with exercise. You have to start somewhere and then make things happen. Practicing more and more and more and more until eventually you reach the levels when you understand yourself better. And that's what it is.
Yeah, it's like you get connected to your inner wisdom, right? It's like you really start to get to know yourself better and better by doing so. And actually, Zach Richardson here on Facebook, he said earlier, he said, perfect answer for me, meditation. So, Zach, if you're still listening, we are still having our Monday meditations every week at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And what I love about those is just one, it's just getting connected to yourself, right? And there's forgiveness involved, healing involved. And I also always set an intention when I go into these meditations, like whatever it is in that day, for instance, that I want to get out of the meditation, I set the intention behind it. And most of the time, whether I fall asleep or I think I fall asleep because it's like a really deep meditation or not, I get something out of it from that intention too, because you're putting it out there. When you put it out there, it's bound.
Yeah. It's the permission, is you're giving yourself the permission to receive it and to be aware of, And when we are going in our meditation, we go through the different waves, brain waves, levels. We start at the basic, and then we move to the next level, and then the next level, and then the last level. Until we go to the theta waves, and if you have an intention, or when you come out of the meditation, you go through your what's called a mantra, to your affirmations. Through your affirmations, it will help you. It will help you to get them faster, because the brain is in a receptive mode at that particular time. Many times we finish the meditation, we have to go to sleep because we feel so good and so peaceful. That is magnificent. And the reason is because, like I said, everything that we are living around us, like that particular stress that I was experiencing, it came out of the blue, right? So your energy, your natural energy, your personal energy, your aura goes up and down all the time. But every time that goes out, grabs something. And every time that comes back in, takes something inside of you. So it can contaminate it through the day, just by listening to music, just by the food that you're eating, just by watching or reading news and things like that, We all are in our phones all the time. We all see things that we like. We all see things that we don't like. And every time that you don't like something, it's a little bit of energy, right? So before we went to our meditations, we clear completely our aura. We prepare ourselves to reach those levels,
And
and
release all
and
the energy that
and
we
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Believe me, if that's everything that you learn out of our meditation group, you will be, I mean, way more equipped than most people to for life, you know, because it really helps you. It really makes a difference, you know. And once you get that, I mean, it's very easy to reach the levels that we want to reach with the meditation. So
absolutely. And Zach just shared, he's like, thanks. I've been thinking to do the meditation for a year, and it's top of 2020 intentions. So awesome. Hope we see you tonight. I believe I have your email on the list. If not, you're more than welcome to share your email so we can make sure we send it to you. Otherwise, I always post about it as well. And then it's interesting. He said I also had being more raw and genuine with others on the top of my list for this year. And what I want
mhm.
to say to you, Zach, is that's the beauty of synchronicity. There's never a coincidence. So when you put
Yeah.
intention out there, then it's a matter of really seeing all the signs around you, being aware, having that conscious awareness of like, okay, if I'm setting an intention and this is what I'm out to create, and I have all the belief and faith, no doubt, and I'm taking actions in alignment with that, well, now it's time to open your eyes and be conscious of all the signs that the universe is providing you for you to see, whether that's in music,
Yeah.
TV, anything can be a sign.
And you know, the most beautiful message that you can receive is when you know from somewhere in your brain something fires up and tells you, you know, I want to make more money. I want to live in a better house. I want to go on vacations. I want to have a relationship. I want to be healthy. You know, all those things that are firing inside of you, it's because you are ready. That's how your body creates that. It's a symptom, just to put it that way. It's how your body creates that message of you're ready for the next thing, you know. And it's time for you to look or to look away, because remember, when you are all depressed or when you are all stressed or when you are healing yourself out of something, at that particular time your brain is not bringing you all those messages, right? It's bringing you just a very specific set of messages, like I am not hungry, I need to rest, I feel tired, so on and so forth. So your body is always communicating with you, your mind is always communicating with you. If you have the intention of doing something, you just need to allow yourself to go through the process and become that something. That's something else. Because believe me, you are ready. You are set. You know, the lessons are over. You know, and so you just need to learn how to close those lessons and move on to the next step, because that's how life is. You know, that's how always works.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, how can I get to that next level, a next level? That's really, and having like, that's always my intention is how can I reach the next level? Oh, hi, Tammy. Yes, there is a meditation tonight. Tammy is
Great.
live. So yes, there's a meditation tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I did announce this last week too. For those that join us, especially those that are joining us every week, it is $20 to join us, which is a really great price. For those that want to join on an every week basis, we're providing a discount. So we're actually giving an entire month of meditations for $50. So if you are interested in that, then you want to make that payment to Jacob, which I'll post all that later. And with that, you'll get the whole month of, for instance, January, right? For January, every Monday, you'll be able to join
Mhm.
us. And so we always say first of the month, and then that way you'll get the whole month with that. Otherwise, just $20 to join us. So that's that.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, hope to see you tonight, Tammy. That'd be awesome, especially for the
yeah,
first one of the
definitely.
new year, right? I look forward to it myself.
Exactly, exactly. So that's what we have for you guys today. It's all about the intention. It's all about understanding, and it's all about connection. Connecting with others, and be aware of it. Allow yourself to go through the steps, understand that nothing bad really happens to you, because everything bad that happens to you is for a good reason. And that's part of the things, that's part of the insights that come through meditation. And I know that when you are living it, it's very difficult to believe it. I know that in my personal life, because I've been through many very, very deep experiences, Anuschka, as well. And but then, when the sun comes out after the storm, everything starts making sense, and you are seeing why you lived that experience.
Absolutely.
So if you learn that, if you master that message inside of you, your life is going to be way different, because you're going to understand better that everything that happens to you is just an instrument to bring you in contact with things that you have to learn, with people that you need to connect with experiences that you need to carry over forward for something in the future. So it's all about that. It's
It
all
really
about
is.
your intention.
It's something I shared actually at, I believe it was like New Year's Eve. And I said like what I mastered in 2020 is really seeing what's the gift in everything. Anything that becomes like a downfall or it didn't go the way I wanted it to go, really just seeing the gift in it, because there's only so much we can see based on our experiences, based on our physical brain. There's so much beyond that that we don't see. We don't see the limitlessness, right? There is an infinite amount of possibilities out there, and where we have a limited mind. And so when things don't work out a certain way or things don't go how you expected them to, well, what's the gift in it? And really just being in that inquiry, setting that intention of really discovering what the gift is, even though you're in it and it may take some time, but really just staying in that, and you'll eventually discover what the actual gift is in everything, right? And it may take time, but that's okay. Being patient is another really great lesson to learn.
And
Right?
benefit of the meditation as well. You become more patient with the practice of meditation. Yeah.
And present, yes, patient
Yeah.
and all the good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then last thing I want to share is what yet again, we're going to do a pendulum workshop on the 17th. So actually less than that, well, 2 weeks from yesterday, let's just put it that way. We're going to do a pendulum workshop on the 17th on a Sunday from 9 to 1. And I will be working on getting more details of that out to everyone this week. And if you are interested in that and how pendulums work, really also like the quality of the questions that need to be asked and really what it's all about, definitely save that date. And if you have more questions around any of this stuff or want to take your health and well-being and healing and all of it to the next level, you are more than welcome to reach out to either one of us as well.
Definitely. Please do, guys. And it's always an honor, and we're very happy to help you all. This week in particular, I have a lot of space for therapy. So because we're not planning for the center to be still in construction. So under construction, I should say. And so I am very, very open this week for therapy sessions, and I know Anuschka is as well. So reach out, guys, and if you need something, you have something that you want to work on, now is the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then for those of you wanting to join tonight, would love to see you. Make sure you get all that taken care of so that you can join us at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
See you guys later.
All right. Bye. Happy New Year.